through smoke in this tournament.
He has indeed. He's going to need a lot more in this one as well. They will need everything they can muster against Faze. Slow round here from the Faze boys. We've got the mid-take coming in. The timing of the smoke, jungle already. Also window. And a slow clearance here. Just trying to make sure they can be safe against everything. We'll often see teams going for these B splits on these anti-fortifiers or ecos. It's been quite in vogue. Ooh, but he can't quite find a connection there. That's unfortunate for him. Does do some damage to Olafnest. Oh no, actually no, he didn't. He missed everything. It was against Guardian. So yes, Faze are starting to get closer to that B bomb site now. Indeed, it is that B split. Existence. Oh, there you go. There's one. A second one offers itself up, but Rain will shut it down. And that B bomb site is looking pretty open, James.
Yeah, the split from Faze clan now moving in. Still dangerous though, and the time is ticking for G2 for Faze. Oh, the knife shocks. That's perfect timing from him. He's bought some time for Smiths, who has position on. Well, he has short. Now we need to have Go TV picks, and I want to lean towards, I think Guardian is a great person to learn from, but I have to pick Nico because his one taps are just incomprehensible. So for the T side at the very least, for those of you on Go TV or the Twitch Premium Pass, my choice is Nico.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good one. Shocked. Don't feel cool as well. Now that he doesn't have that in-game leading responsibility, he's more free to focus on that individual performance. And we've seen some good shocks moments this tournament so far. He's playing that anti-eco once again. Will bring himself into the position. Now it's just the drills here. As Rainbow with that AK-47, and they will take that as a good example, and he'll follow up as well. Rounds here for Faze going according to plan, and they'll be soon on that 3-0 start. And G2, they're going to have to strike back quickly, James. You do not want Faze to have any momentum. And Sean did mention the A stacks. That's something we'll have to look out for from G2.
I do. I'm inclined to pick Olafmeister as well. I think especially with the nature in which Nico gets frags with his one taps and so on, I think it's easy for other people to fly under the radar, even on a team such as Faze. So whether you, on this T side at least, which I think will be the more interesting side, whether you pick Nico or Olafmeister, I don't think there is a bad pick. 32 seconds for Body to stop the bomb from going down. This is not looking very likely at all. So we will see what happens. So look how careful they are though, meticulous. It's still going for the default plant. I suppose they are less exposed in that sense. I like the inverse plant. When you have smoke down, for example, everyone goes for like a default plant or triple plant. I think if you go for an inverse default plant, what does that mean? It means the other side of the default box you can plant there as well. It gives you a stronger position post-plant as a team. Whereas if a CT gets on the site, you may find yourself in difficulty trying to get something done. So 3-0 for Faze, the buy round starts now.
Yeah, Kenny has got a lot of responsibility here, a lot of work to do. Jumping straight across. Now the jump, but for Kenny, whoever wants to find it in time, the boost up will be fairly devious. Faze cannot, they're pushing it another headshot there for Nico. Position was got 2 players. Takes down Kenny. That's all picked up now by there is no way to really get to the bomb site, surely. Now, I very much doubt Faze is going to give up any more frags here. Save angles. Just like that fast 8 round was quite successful.
Very confident peak there from Guardian. And indeed, horrible timing for Smiths. With players moving through the smoke, he was looking to check the gap. Quite often when there's a smoke grenade at the T ramp on A, there is a gap in the corner, kind of similar to main smoke on Cash. Something to be aware of. So if you're a CT and you want to cross to the other side of the smoke, maybe to there's a sniper behind it or any kind of tree, they will be at an advantage if you're walking beyond that smoke. Now, if you look at, say, a Mouse Sports on Mirage, for example, I know they do it on the CT side, the A players will go in front of the barrels on the CT slope of A. There's a lineup with the box, so you can throw the smoke from behind the box, which is pretty much a consistent smoke. So if you're throwing it in such a fashion, then that will be less of an issue, but there's definitely something to be aware of now. 4-0 for Faze. Kenny's on the AWP. And again, this is a situation where he needs to get something done. As you can see, he's made this is an awkward pick though. He has been spotted and he's got to fall back from that. But the general idea is G2 done now. Get a pick, rotate somewhere else. Moving in quickly, Kenny has one shot. That is a problem. We see a few snipers towards the position. Really troublesome. Now Existence looking for some bonus cash, although not much of it with the CZ, only $100 I believe these days.
It's the longest time actually, ever now. I think people are tired of actually asking for the bonus to be returned to normal.
Dude, I used the 5.7 for so long that I didn't even realise. And then I would get a kill with pistol rounds. I'd be like, where's my money? I thought I had more than this.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. It's yeah.
Well, in the hands of somebody like Twist, it's still very OP, so...
Yeah, it's... I don't know if that would be exciting, but either way. Making the jump across, but... Smoke in place and Faze once again with a far close to the round. Carrigan is going to open things up well here, but there's so much in the way of defense. G2 towards his people side. Kenny has able to pick up Rain. Rain has been quite the monster after going up onto that fence in middle. We've seen him do some good stuff here on Mirage this tournament there, but it seems like G2 are pretty well so far, evening things up, and we'll see Faze responding by rotating towards a bomb side. But this round doesn't look too bad here for G2. They have decent enough positions. If Kenny can hit some shots, this will be a tough one for Faze.
Smith's moving into a deeper position in the ramp. Still not necessarily easy to get a frag from here. But now starting to rotate, not getting any sound cues. So perhaps Kenny will watch the lower area and Smith's to high. Existence making a play in the underpass earlier on. We'll talk about that later. Now, a lot of Meister's in the connector position, so Faze have good position here. It's a 4 versus 2 on the A site, and if Body chooses to rotate into the crawl space, he's on the rotation. That triple position appears to be a problem.
It was a really nice shot from Kenny, but only the one kill, and now the remainder of G2 locked out at the bomb site. He's lost as well. That is a problem. Shocks. Or we could see he was considering it right there after making that frag, but he thought better of it, and he'll fall back and away with that AWP. Of course, they are a max loss bonus, but he went out to save, and because of the amount of money they're going to get in this round or in the next rounds, there is actually a lot of danger this orb can present. They'll have some CZs and Kevlars and a couple grenades. The next round could be quite dangerous against Faze, so that should be an interesting one to see what Shocks does with that orb, or if he gives it to Kenny. Or Kenny. Oh no!
So you saw this Existence into the underpass. Something that you can consider at home if you're choosing to make a play like that is to not buy full grenades, because if you're making a play like that, either you're going to die, whether you get a frag or not, or you're not going to be in a position really to use most of those grenades. So you can save yourself a hell of a lot of money, especially on the CT side, if you only buy what you think might be really crucial beyond the play you are choosing to make. Now, Smith was above the shadow position, and if I'm not mistaken, the Guardian peeked from Palace and took him out with an AWP, which, bearing in mind, when you're coming out of the Palace area, you could have a player in Sandwich, a player on the stairs next to Connector, or who knows where else. So I do wonder what happened in that scenario, if he was turning around, or if Guardian just was Guardian, which is always good for Faze, who are 6-0 up at the moment, looking confident on Mirage.
Yes, indeed. It's been a good map so far. It looks very ABC from them. These mid-takes have been really effective, the grenade placement and so on. And Nico able to defend against Smiths. Little does he know there's more where that came from.
Yeah, we'll see how he deals with this anti-eco. And on the subject of the anti-person's perspective, you can see that Nico started passive. He didn't too early in case something like this happens. It's always good to opponents are doing. Another cool thing is if you watch Fallen with an AWP in Palace, if he's making his way through, he'll often scope very early on, like in this kind of area. And I think people will always go to the other side looking for a scope hit there. If someone's playing in the shadow position, they immediately know that a sniper's there. But if you scope in early and walk through Palace, people have no idea you're coming. So it can be the difference between winning and losing. Getting a pick which gives position to your team. So that Faze pincer movements. And now with 3 players left, Faze start to breach a bomb site. So again, there's time for correction here should something go wrong.
Oh, it's the first couple of shots. Unfortunately, that's not something you can afford to do in that position. And see this being teased. Actually hits Kenny in the calves. Kenny's actually stolen away an AK-47, which is something, better than nothing. And body looks to be a nuisance, but another round will go the way of Faze. It'll be 7-0 pretty quickly here. We haven't seen any super close rounds where Faze really looked tested, where it really comes down to these clutches.
Yeah, and Faze are coming from that, which certainly helps in terms of momentum. And now Kenny is the only man remaining. Of course, G2 are at maximum loss bonus. In the next round, they will have everything they want. I would love to see the AK-47 go to body or shocks. G2 can do. It's not too late to have a reasonable half. And I would expect they'll have something in mind for the T side. Let's see what they choose to do. Nico being very vocal. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think there were mentions yesterday of him leading the charge on Mirage. Not every map, but at least Mirage. And people say, that, some people I think on the internet were referencing the in-game being on Mouseport, but I think that was a very different case. Holes and Nico tries to get something done, but this is a very different team. For Faze, and Olafmeister is making his way through the apps.
Yeah, the double ops here for G2, back in action. And this forward setup towards A could be quite strong if Faze go back after this mid-take towards that A split, using the slope as a position to perhaps push 3 players, which is somewhat common with this opening. But that's the beauty of the mid-control. You can develop it into so many different things. And what the CTs usually do to figure that out is they'll do a 2-man push at a specific timing into the pit position to see if there are any teams gathering up there. If there are not, they can start to eliminate some of the plays they think that the T side might be making. And you can see it's actually Shocks pushing the B apartments, and the bomb is actually on the other side. He hasn't seen it just yet, but my goodness, if Carrigan walks into this angle and Shocks sees the bomb, that could be a big moment for G2 here.
Carrigan should know that you cannot just walk into these angles in case a sniper is there. Run past, very easy. Avoid that. Falls back, but he's got info. Is on the case, and now it's just down to body with that AK-47. Maybe he can show us, never mind. There's too many players here. Guardian has a superior. 2 seconds for Nico to plant on. So keeping an eye on things in a mid position, he will hear the footsteps of existence, maybe Smiths as well, and it is save time for G2 0-8.
Yeah, you almost think that maybe there's something that could happen there. You know, Kenny managed to get a kill. Or no, actually, did Kenny get no, Kenny got a kill. Gave some information, and then Shocks, if only he gets something, there's real chances for G2, but look at just the individual power we're seeing out of Olofmeister and Rain, and basically everybody from Faze. Nico, as you say, leading the charge in more ways than one. And G2, James, it feels like they're a bit defenseless right now.
Yeah. He said defense and stance, first thing I thought of. Olofmeister, again, in those situations, you can just see his mind whirring. He's thinking about another for a second, because he knows two players are alive. He has a read. It's almost like poker. Like, he has a read that the other guys in Palace anticipates him for a second, and just beautiful watching him take that duel as well. It's like a human highlight video. And that is a great example of why he was one of the two GoTV picks in this game.
Oh dear, these grenades have been really good at this from Faze so far. And they take a different approach. G2 looking to respond to that, but Faze picks it up. And it's G2 that lose more health on and Existence feeling that pressure, just spamming through the smoke, forced to smoke pretty early in the round as well. And this is good from G2. This is being proactive, looking for information in Palace, and he can try to push a bit deeper than this.
Smith is 007 at the moment. Tuxedo, but no Aston Martin. Carrigan waiting for this. Hello. 008. Is that M? Who's 008?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's I can perhaps go into that push in a moment, as Faze are looking to now develop the rounds. So it's Phase 2 now. Phase 1, you play a passive setup, you wait for the pushes after some initial pressure. G2 give up a man, and they've also run out of utility. They've got one flashbang at this point. There's 30 seconds remaining. The Faze have a bunch of utility, and now they're moving in towards the A side once again. Side. Damage from the back from Shaw. That's not stop there for G2. They have to plant the bomb. There is no choice. Has to plant now. Olofmeister continuing to do damage. More players though coming in as G2 look for this retake.
To position in Olof is, and Carrigan planting the bomb, or make it a 1 versus 2. Now, Shock's the last man standing. That is terrifying territory, especially when you're both low on health. They need to get the 2 versus 1 in, but who peeks first? Where did Carrigan peeking to his right-hand side, and there's a massive headshot. 9-0 for Faze. Now, I'm calling Nico almost the most dangerous man in Counter-Strike, and as a person who seems to be leading the charge here on Mirage, you can see in that round when Smith pushes that, Faze know what G2 want to do before G2 do. That's what it seems like at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a really great round. Obviously, Olofmeister has to clutch pretty hard there to save it. Those 2 kills in very quick succession saved the bomb plant. But what was really cool was Faze, you know, they make the round look somewhat similar pacing-wise to some of the previous ones. They play really fast pace, they put the pressure on. We see a lot of utility used by G2 in response, and then they just hold in passive positions. They bait out a push from Existence. And that's an interesting thing. I think in the meta we used to see a lot of powers pushes from the CTs, and you've got to be kind of cautious how deep you go with it. And right there, G2 is so blind and so desperate after using all the utility early to know what Faze did, they walked into the trap. And a 5v4 is, for Faze on the T side, is seemingly easy to shut down.
In our central gaming monitor, we have the cameras for both teams as well. While you guys are watching G2, Nico was just talking the entire time about all kinds of orders. The grenades at different times, of course. Maybe more grenades will come. 2 more HEs and a bunch of deagles, but those are just the only highlights really in a disastrous situation for G2. 4 to 5 at the moment. And that does raise the question about the fracking power on this particular roster, especially when you're up against a team such as Faze. I think it's reasonable to ask if you can ever beat a Faze clan just in duels. I mean, obviously Faze have the advantage of the AKs as well, which is significant, especially when their skill ceiling is so high. But I think there are long-term questions which the results of a match like this pose.
Once again, looks like we'll have this eco cleaned up pretty swiftly and pretty easily. And it's hard to know what G2 can go to. They don't get any else on the CT side. You know what do you need to do to get back into this game? And as you said, you know, the individual skill, it is just something that Faze can leverage into. They get into, like, you know, it was a really well played round from Faze, but somehow GT still sort of able to get some frags, make it favourable. All the point that happens just gets a 2k out of nowhere, and that like incredible skill for so many players just gets you out of so many bad spots. And there it is. 2G2-0.
Now you start to wonder if we're going to see our second 16-0.
I was just thinking that.
Consecutive days, no less, because, I mean, just look at the scoreboard. There's not a lot. There's not a lot going on. The X-Factor seems indefensible at the moment. So, I mean, G2 are trying to be aggressive, but again, they think
Have you seen that before, James?
I've seen it before. I've seen it before, actually. It's really irritating.
Yeah,
trying to jump off something, getting hit by a grenade, absolutely ruins your trajectory. It's even worse than it's
very much at this level. That's pretty. Must feel like everything. Timely push from Shox. Maybe that will speed up your push here from Faze as a response. Got to be careful. Scroll through the smoke. Tracers can betray you. And there's a minute left, and they don't have too much except this short control, so they look to build on that, and they'll have Guardian still pushing it. In fact, he could actually push all the way to the B bomb side if they would like. They still have good coverage. They've gone deep enough here, and they've got the bomb moving in B apartments, so looks like that's as good a call as any here. Although Kenny, the smokes dissipate. Another one bites the dust. That was almost a double as well, so G2, they might be on the board, James.
2 versus 5, Nico and Rain. I'm not calling it this, that's for sure. With the time so low, it's going to make it hard to get a bomb plant, and of course there's a lot of pressure here for Faze Clan, but what they want to do as much damage as possible. Deny them, that's 3 kills. It seems Nico wants to prioritize taking the AWP away. But we might just... It doesn't matter if Nico doesn't die, because they have so much money Faze, but he will be eliminated. So finally, G2 win a round, and they win a round with everybody alive. Finally, G2 are on the scoreboard. Nice.
I love that that's in the replay.
It's like that's kind of like you're walking up to a girl in a club or something, and some other guy just comes out of nowhere and starts talking to her just before, and you like have to style it out like you're going to get a drink, or you know, suddenly you have to take a right turn. So, oh, that's awkward.
Well, no more 16-0 at the very least.
Denied. Yeah, the 16-0 is off, boys.
But it was definitely looking like that. You're absolutely right. Oh man, this is such a difficult spot, because it's one thing, you know, if you've had some very competitive rounds, but I think we've only really seen one where Olofmeister sort of clutched it out with a 2k so they could get the bomb down and play a 2v1 afterwards. That was really the only super close round that we've seen, except obviously that round, just one there where G2 just Kenny just sort of just got the picks because the smoke went away before Faze were clear. Alright, so maybe G2 can compound on this success and go get something else, but it looks like Faze have other ideas.
Straight into the connector position. Nothing doing just yet. Kenny off to a good start. Seems to have warmed up now. Rains is creeping through, but the smoke is to the advantage of existence. With absolute confidence. Okay then, stereo frags.
Oh Oh dear, Smith is forced out of position, and just when you thought you had the advantage, it is taken away in the blink of an eye. His Body and Shocks left to try to clutch 2v3. Definitely doable here. Body has an AK, so does Shocks. But Guardian has an EP, and this does get somewhat awkward here. Doesn't seem like they have any unity left at this point. It's just going to be hard to block off these choke points. Shocks is in there. That's Nico dead. Big pickup, but still Guardian to go. Misplaced foot, and that could be the end of view. And they've got 45 seconds to try to find a way to plant this bomb, so that is definitely playing in the favor of Faze here. As Guardian creeps closer and closer, and he's going to get a deep angle on this peak. Finally, surely Body spots it. Play a bit more. Oh, it's good cover coming from Olafmeister now on the one.
Molotov not doing a job there. Olafmeister have some space to play with. Not quite the bite off Molly. Body full health. Needs 2 bullets unless he gets to Face. 27 in 1 won't be enough. Just creeping around on the faster, has no idea what's going on, but he has a read. Takes a gamble. The game sense of Olafmeister, really nice. Happy with the AK, it's so dangerous with Olafmeister, and that will be round number 11 for FaceClan. It is though another fight for G2 because they pretty much all survived in that round prior. 4 or 5 of them, a big fight.
It's actually like so smart as well from Olafmeister with his positioning, because I think he knows, once he gets these steps, not only does he have an off angle and he has, superior crosshair placement, he could be a bit higher or a bit lower in his head, the positioning of his head because of the nature of the steps, whereas he knows the opponent has to be a certain level because that's a flat surface, so he gets his advantage. So smart. Alive at this point. Even got tagged, trying to get out of the position, and Carrigan is oh my goodness, that was a chance perhaps. Rain though, unable to capitalize. Now Shocks looks expectantly at Carrigan's position. Oh, really smart, that goes for the D peak. Unlucky for Carrigan, but Shocks on point. A 3k for him in the round, and that's 2 G2 as we are almost at the end of this half.
Despite the score, we are seeing some really cool snippets of game sense from a number of these players. After Shocks gets that first frag, I don't know if they had some information as to where Carrigan is, but he jumps up to elevate his position, standing on a wood. You see Carrigan jiggling and looking for the pre-fire. Even if he got it, he would have shot Shocks in the chest instead of the head, because he jumped on there. So again, just game sense galore. But can G2 4 rounds on the board here? That's really something to fight with moving into the second half. Nico on a ramp with the ball. 4 players looking to burst the doubling his score.
Shocks in the 1v3 now. Lots of work to do. It does have the AK at the very least. And it's going to be so difficult to root out these players. They're all in deep positions. So he has to go very deep and basically tap the bomb, at which point 3 players can just jump out at him. There's no way he can find anyone. Faze are playing. How do you beat Shocks? Well, times against him. Into a spot where he can't even... He's going to find a fight against the bomb. Doesn't actually tap it, but still Guardian comes out. Shortly. Goes up against Olafmeister, and unfortunately he has no idea where to look, and Olafmeister will shut it down, but Shocks made that look doable. To speak to the quality of him, that was the most impossible of situations.
1 round remains in this half.
Wow, that's incredible.
So clean from Shocks, that shot. Olafmeister had superior position. The smoke was interesting as well. It might be hard for him to find a spot there. He's pretty much covered the whole of default. 2 rifles and 3 pistols for the French-speaking side. Existence, of course, is from Belgium. It's not too deep, and we'll have a gap in it. Looking to
for Faze. 13-2, the score at the end of the first half. A clean one, and it was 10 rounds in a row before G2 were able to post anything on the scoreboard. Definitely looking very grim for them at the beginning of this best of 3. Of course, this map is not over yet, but from what we've seen, things are not looking good so far for the French.
2 rounds and 2 frags for Smiths. You can see the body language is not very good in that respect. There's a lot, maybe we should do some body language videos, get some body language people. The guy who did the CIA video, the book with Phil Hellmuth about body language and health and stuff, we'll get that guy to wear some dodgy glasses and an ill-fitting suit and about body language and what we can read from the players on play cameras. Well then, 2 boys with utility for the T side. Body will be the man with the 250. Can he have the same highlights as we saw from Issa in the previous?
What they expect. Nico's going to put the support in there. Oliver is still alive, but not for too much longer. But Nico, great support, and he's doing more damage. The bomb on the ground is existence. Nico, never a good look, and he will be shut down. Nico, great round from him, and Faze moved to 14 very quickly.
I'm telling you, man, Nico is the most dangerous man in Counter-Strike. He is playing lights out as he always does, and he is in-game leading, and he's just shy of leading the server. Olofmeister fighting him for that. And I'm sure they are very happy that Olofmeister is back on the team. 14-2. This may be a brief one for G2 on Mirage.
Indeed. Nades will be purchased here for G2 along with those bits of Guardian looking to have some fun with the scout, but the smoke will spoil things for him. Looks like a B rush brewing G2. And that will be utterly denied perhaps through the smoke unless they decide to go through it. They do have a couple of flashbangs on Kenny, but Carrigan could be ready to body block if they decide to go. Additional space. And the Batman's follow-up. You can't really deny this push harder than that. I don't even know how he's taking so little damage. Very grim situation here for G2. This was absolutely shut down, James.
Yeah, I think 2 words, absolutely fisted. Looking at a 15-2 scoreline, there it is. Rain taking Kenny S out from the back, and now we put G2 out of their misery on this map. I mean, the A site was exploited. The A site was a sweatshop down. You know, we talk about positions and like sometimes you're a B player, you don't get many action, sort of scoreboard looks good, but it was indefensible. Indefensible. 15-2 for Faze Clan. They are well equipped, very well equipped. The issue versus game point with 4 Deagles and a CZ75. We are asking a lot of the French-speaking team.
Classic skill. Olofmeister hunting him down. He's on horseback and he is chasing after the fox. Existence will appear from its position through the smoke. Perhaps he can get a cheeky frag. I don't know that they know that he's there, and he'll be holding position now. So perhaps as a surprise, indeed, 16-2 Faze.